Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Stout review. Merry Christmas Eve. It's my favorite day of the year. As a kid, the anticipation of Christmas on Christmas Eve was the best thing ever. And as an adult, the anticipation for doing stuff for the kids is the best thing ever. It's just, I love it. The house smells good from cooking, baking. Christmas Eve is just, it's the best. So, not sure what everyone's traditions are, but for all of you who celebrate, Merry Christmas Eve. Yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. So it is tradition for me on Christmas Eve to check in on older vintages of Bourbon County that I have. We've been on a little bit of a Bourbon County run, so that's what we're gonna do. This is my favorite vintage ever, and it is the 2014 vintage of Bourbon County brand stout. From Goose Island, do we say it again? Chicago, California? Chicago, Illinois. This was the first vintage of Bourbon County I ever reviewed on my YouTube channel back in 2014. Which sounds weird. It's been almost 8 years of doing this. Was this the first barrel-aged stout I ever reviewed? It might have been. Actually, I might have reviewed a Woot Stout. That wasn't really a barrel-aged beer. It was like a quarter of that beer was barrel-aged and then blended. This might have been the first barrel-aged stout that I reviewed. And this actually kind of got me on wanting to try more barrel-aged stuff. So, 2014 vintage is 13.8%. And it was bottled on September 29th of 2014. So there you go. Let's get into it. Growing up in an Italian family, Christmas Eve for us was always the feast of the seven fishes, as they say. So we always what do we used to do? I think my mom used to make cioppino on Christmas Eve, but it has evolved since then. We have sushi now on Christmas Eve, which is fun. And then Christmas Day is a big pot of sauce, raviolis, all that good stuff. So it'd be fun to hear what your guys' traditions are when it comes to Christmas. We're using our monkish goblet again because I'm really into this glass. And apparently the whole bottle fits in there. Same with the 2020 vintage that we reviewed last night. Not crazy dark when you poured it because of the bright lights, but plenty dark in the glass. No head. Didn't port aggressive, but quarter finger, that kind of mocha khaki head. I can smell booze from here, so we're off to a good start. Let's show our fat. Oh, before we get into this, 12-ounce bottles. I wish we had that format for Bourbon County still. 4 packs of 12-ounce bottles, like I'm here for that. When they moved it to 16.9-ounce bottles or whatever it was, like it's not necessary, especially when you're solo doming stouts. Maybe it is for some of you guys who do it, but I say in 2022 we bring back 12-ounce bottles of Bourbon County. Let's go. So this definitely has a little bit of oxidation to it, but I'm not mad at it. It's got like that kind of, I talked about like when I went to Ohio and I went down to my aunt's basement. It smells like a basement. It's like musty, kind of damp. But there's still plenty of fudge, dark fruits. It's got like a caramely kind of, is it caramel or molasses? Something sweet like that, but there is still a ton of bourbon on the nose of this. It smells every bit of 14%. Yeah, it's like, I think it's caramely toffee, maybe vanilla. Man, it still smells really good. Yeah, I think that little bit of is there sediment or is there like, what is in the bottom of that? Yeah, there's a little bit of like thick something down there. Yeah, there's like something sweet. It's either like caramel, vanilla. It might be coming from the barrels. It doesn't smell heavy barrel to me. Like it doesn't smell woody or oaky. I've smelled like that heavy kind of char on the last 2 bottles of Bourbon County that we reviewed, but this just smells like boozy chocolate with some dark fruit and like a sweetness to it. So I am interested to see what this tastes like. So cheers. Merry Christmas Eve. Yeah, there's some little chunky things on the side of that glass. Ooh. Oh my gosh, it's fucking delicious. Oh man. So definitely didn't smell a ton of barrel, but there's a lot of barrel character on the finish of that. It tastes, and I mentioned this in another review, like when you put a toothpick on your tongue, like you have a toothpick in your mouth and it just sits on your tongue, you get that woody thing. That is definitely there. It is boozy, fudgy, like cherry cordial-ish kind of a thing. Dark fruits, but it's got that, it's like caramely toffee something. It's almost kind of like, have you guys ever ate like Werther's Originals, like that butterscotch kind of a thing? I don't know if that's an off flavor. I have no idea. It's fucking delicious though. And plenty of spirit on the finish of that. It tastes like bourbon. It tastes like, it's not spicy like rye, but I mean, I'm not a whiskey guy, but when I drink bourbon, it just, there's like a, there's a spice to it. It's warm. It just is. And it's there. Again, with this one, not a crazy thick mouthfeel. You're not chewing on it. But it's, whew, someone had in a comment on the video last night that they had just drank a 2014 Bourbon County coffee and it was delicious. The Bourbon County 2014 just regular stout is fucking fire right now. Really, really, really good. That fudge and booze and a little bit of fruity, like dark fruit sweetness with the caramel and that butterscotch thing and all that barrel character, fuck, delicious, delicious, delicious. If you guys still have these, you're stoked. They're drinking fine. I love it. So that's it. Checking in on the 2014 vintage Bourbon County. Spoiler alert, it's still delicious. So you guys have any bottles? Crack one. Wait for Santa to come. You start, you know, what time is it? It's 1:30 on Christmas Eve. Santa might fly right over this bitch tonight. Drink a couple more of these. Holy smokes. So, yeah, enjoy your holiday. See you guys soon. Cheers.
Thank you for coming behind the bar, in the arcade, all that shit.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam